And hello year 3, Green and Emerald. It's so lovely to be with you again, doing these lovely super duper videos for you for your maths today. And we're going to start off with your 3 columns in your book and ready for your arithmetic this morning. We'll go straight into it. And you've got known facts, and you're going to be using them for higher levels of using your place value today, so higher numbers for you in bronze. And just be a bit wary of those 0 times 4. When you times something by 0, you get a 0. A little bit of a trap there with the adding, because you don't do the same when you add a 0. So have a look at that with silver. And then gold, again, you're using known facts and working out those missing numbers. So pause the video now, and then we'll get ready to put the answers up in a second. Okay, hopefully you've paused, done your work, and now we're ready to put up the answers. Here's bronze, silver and gold for you. And because they're missing numbers, I've put those in red for you, so it's easier to check your answers there. Okay, because obviously the end answer that's after the equals is in for quite a few of those, so just be aware that your answer should be where the red number is in those number sentences. Okay, you can pause that and check those off, and if you've got them right, give yourself a nice tick or a nice big smiley face. Okay, so here we go. We've got the starter today, and we're on to the new exciting topic this maths lesson, or this in these next couple of weeks. We're going to be doing money, and so we're going to find out today about the value of coins and notes, and it's really a recap of our previous knowledge. So we've got a starter with somebody saying they've got some money here, and they're saying they've got a certain amount of money, and you've got to explain whether they're right or wrong. So you can use your reasoning and your understanding of how money works in order to write down the answer for this one. So the person's saying, I have £7.75 to spend here. Am I right? And you need to explain it. So you need to firstly look at the money. Do they have £7.75? And then explain. If they have, then you write down why they have, and if they haven't, you write down why they haven't. Okay, so you can pause the video now. And I shall give you the answer for this one. They are not right. They don't have £7.75. They have £6.75. Because the £1 there is just 1, so we've got 5, and then we add on £1, so that would be £6, and then they do actually have 75p there, so that part of the of their statement is correct, but they only have £1 and not 2. Okay, so that would be the way of explaining. And here's the starter for the call. So this is, I have 16 pence to spend here. Am I right? Very similar to the first one. You have to explain if they are right, why they're right, and if you think they're wrong, why you think they're wrong, and why it doesn't add up to 16 pence. Okay, so you can pause that and restart. Okay, they're not right again. This person has 17 pence because we have 10, add 5, which is 15, and then we add 2 to get 17 pence and not 16 pence. If that 2 pence was at 1p, then we would have 16 pence. Okay, so we're going to work out this value of coins and notes today, and you can see in the background here we've got a £5, we've got some old notes here. The notes have changed recently, or in a couple of years ago, and they've been rolling out plastic notes instead of paper, and they were previously made of paper and little tiny bits of cloth. They were quite hard to tear, but the life of the new plastic ones is a lot longer than the paper. Okay, so have a little think. We're going to be thinking today about all the different ways we have to spend our money. And what I'd like you to do is have a little talk to somebody about how we can pay for things. How do we actually physically do that exchange of money for goods? Okay, so what are the sort of ways that we do it? We've got cash, because we've got this these notes, and we've got the money, the coins. Okay, we've got the notes and the coins. Or what other ways? You know, if you go into a shop, how else have you seen people paying for items? Okay, for their goods. Okay, so have a little talk about that, and I'll put up some little photos and little pictures in a second for you. So hopefully you've had a chance to talk aloud with somebody else, different ways that we can do that, how we pay for things. You might have seen somebody getting a debit card out of their bag or out of their wallet and paying for something on that, or a credit card. There's two differences between those. If you've got a grown up with you, that would be really good to discuss those. Debit, it comes straight out of your account, and a credit is where you actually borrow money from a bank or a building society or a company, and then you have to pay that money back. Debit, usually have it attached to a bank account. You might have a store card. You might have seen checks that have been written out, though they are trying to be phased. The banks have been trying to phase those out for quite a few years. We've got the cash. You see lots of money that's in green. The American dollars are in green, and we used to have pound notes which were green, so it's quite common to see money showing as green, although we don't have green notes anymore. You might have seen people paying for things using a phone now, which is becoming a lot more common. And also you may have seen people doing transfers or paying for things on the using a computer or an iPad or other technology. And the ways of paying for things are forever improving, sort of trying to move away from cash onto more sort of technologically advanced methods. So, you know, in my lifetime, things have changed dramatically, from checks and from cash to now evolving into, you know, like chips. People can pay for it on their smart, their little watch, sort of smart gizmos that they've got, and there's lots of different ways that are coming in. What's the group word, and I've used it already, that we use for coins and notes? What's that group word that we use? It's the combination of coins plus notes. What's that word that we use? That word is cash. Okay, we used to use it for just to denote something that's very handy, and it's used to pay for things that are that using coins and those notes, money, bank notes and bank coins. Okay. So here's some here. We've got an old 20p here. We've got an old 50p. We've got a £5. We've got 10p upside down, and we've got a £2 coin, a £1 coin. We've got a bag of. We've got an old-fashioned. There's a 5p in there as well. We've got a very old, sort of almost like a pirate's treasure chest of cash there. And one of the things I want you to be able to do for today as well is to be able to write that pound sign correctly. Okay, it starts off sort of going backwards towards the left-hand side. Some people do still write this almost like a 2, and it doesn't start that way round. It starts and goes back. If you're right-handed, it sort of goes towards the left. Left-handed, it will pull back. Okay, so and then it goes down to the bottom. It makes sort of like an L shape, and it has a cross across the middle. Okay, so that's one of the things I want you to be able to do today. The old-fashioned notes actually had a really much clearer and easier pound sign on them than the current ones. They actually have quite a sort of like almost like a sort of like an italic way of writing it. Whereas I like this big chunky one on the old banknotes. I think they look much clearer. Okay, so on a scrap piece of paper or on your whiteboard if you're in class, can you write down a list of all the coins and all the notes that can be used in the UK? Okay, there's a certain set of them, certain set of notes and coins. You might not have seen the whole set, but write down as many as you can in a list, okay? And if you can save time for later as well and start off with the very highest value of coins and notes, right down to the 1p at the bottom, which is the smallest. There used to be a half p, a half pence coin. And I used to love that little tiny little thing when I was growing up. It was really miniature. It was smaller than a 5p. The current 5p's are quite tiny, and it was smaller than that. It's a very thin little thing. It was, and but that got phased out. So yeah. So try and do that list of all the notes first and all the coins that can be used in the UK. Once you've done that, we will check them out, okay, and I'll go through them. We're going to know their values today, so if you pause the video, make sure you've got that list, and then you're going to be putting those, making sure they're in order, and then we'll put them into your onto your page. So which ones have the highest value, and then you should work them down to the lowest value. Okay. So, sorry, my computer just sounds like it's going to take off. I think the fan's going in it. It just sounds really noisy. So, in order to complete your list, you're going to put that down into your book. You're going to write it in order. And the first one that should be on there is a £50. So that's a 50, a £50. And then it goes 50, 20, 10. Okay, and then £5. So you've got 50, 20, 10, £5. And that sort of order, 5, 2 and 10, so 50, or 5, 2, 10, so 50, 20, 10, carries on all the way through the sort of the sequence. Okay, so when you come to doing this, you'll write the £50 first. And then what I want you to do in your lesson today is once you put that list into your book or into a lined piece of paper, what I'd like you to do is leave a couple of lines in between each one, because then we're going to add the coin. Okay, now I have done a printout for us so that you can cut those out and stick them on your page, okay, or your notes on the page, and then you're going to cut them out and stick them onto your list. Okay, so you'd have the £1 with a £1 coin next to it, 20p with a 20p coin next to it. Obviously you're going to start off with the notes first, but this is just to show you, and then you're going to add your place value counters to match their values in pence. Okay, so you're using these because we know that 20p would be 2 10s, so you'd use your place value 10s there, and the pound is going to be how many pence are in there, so there's going to be 100 pence in there. Okay, so £1 is 100 pence in a pound. 20, there's 2 lots of 10, and that's how you can do it into your book. Now I don't want you to do the 50s because otherwise you're going to be writing and drawing those in forever. So if you start from the £10, then using 10 lots of 100 counter, then that will work. Okay, but don't do the 50s and the 20s, otherwise you'll be there all day. Okay, and then you can work all the way down to the 1p, having your one counter. Okay, just one. So here we go. Can you include, once you've done that, can you include Dean's blocks to match their values in place? Obviously, if we were in class, we would be using these. As you're not on your own, you can draw some green 10 sticks and some individual ones or the hundreds using the squares. Make sure they're nice and neat. Make sure you have a check with somebody else, and then at the end of this game, if you can find a little pile of some cash, some coins, select a few, 5 coins, another person takes 5 coins, you add them up, and who has the most and the least, and see if you can randomise those as well. Okay, if you want to, you can, if you want to, cut out the pieces of paper that I've done for you. Oh, not the pieces of paper, the coins on there. You could always print out another one of those, cut them up, turn them over and pick out 5 without cheating, so that you're picking out all the high ones, and then you could try and add those up. Okay, if you haven't got the cash with you, you could do that as well. Or you could even make your own little, just put pieces of paper with those numbers on and do the same. Okay, there's ways around not having a printer. Okay, so what's the total of it? Your partner does the same. Who has the most? Who has the least? And maybe you could say, right, for the first go, we'll have the person with the most winning a point each time. And then maybe the next round you could do the person with the least. And then every third go, I want you to try and prove it with your place value counters. What place value counters would you use for those? Okay, you can change this up or down. You can use 3 coins if you wanted to. You could choose 8 or 10 coins. You might want to show the Dean's blocks to match instead of the place value counters. There's lots of ways of playing different games with that. So take it one step at a time today. It doesn't matter how slow you go, as long as you don't stop. You've got to have that resilience, that determination. Churchill, oh my goodness, what's it called? Churchill value. So that was, my goodness, I've had a week off and it's gone out of my head. So you, get that determination to carry on and get your success going today. So you're going to write your list of all the notes and coins from the highest value to the lowest value, which will be a £50 at the top, a penny at the bottom. Match it up with the correct picture, and then you can use your place value counters, or you can draw those on to match the values in pence, and then you can play your little adding the coins game. Okay, and here's the little picture at the end, a little bit fuzzy there, of the different the various coins and notes for you. I think I've got them all on there. Trying to see, we've got 50, 50, 20, 50, 20, 10, 5, 2, 10, 5, 2, and then we've got 1, 50, 20, 10, 5, 2, 1. I love that. There's a little bit of a, I didn't realise actually until I taught this last year that they did that little sequence of 5, 2, 10, 5, 2, 10 or 5, 2, 1. So you learn something each time you do it, don't you? Okay, so I hope that goes well today, and you have a nice successful maths lesson. And that's it from me for now. You take care. Bye.